everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review. And today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the new Marvel Legends Infinite Series Doctor Strange figure. Now this figure is part of the Avengers Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave, and it comes packaged in the same style of packaging we've seen with the other Avengers Legends. We've got the window box packaging with the black and reddish colors. We've got the Marvel comic book logo up at the top since this is a comic book based figure. The figure is clearly displayed in the window box packaging along with the accessories, and then we have the Marvel Legends Infinite Series logo down below, and we have the Marvel Heroes name. This figure shares as kind of a swap figure, even though both figures ship in the same assortment, but it shares the same style of packaging as the same packaging as the Vision figure in this wave, which we previously took a look at. So on one side of the box you have an image of Doctor Strange, and then on the other side you have an image of the Vision. On the back you have a look at both figures and a little brief bio for them in multiple languages, and then down below we have a look at all the figures in the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure wave. Okay, so let's get this figure open and take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's a look at the figure outside of the packaging. Now first of all, this figure comes with the left leg of Hulkbuster, the Hulkbuster Build-A-Figure. And I have to say that this leg is definitely very heavy. It's much heavier than the figure itself, so there's a lot of weight to this piece. In fact, it's heavier than any of the other pieces for the figure. So the legs are definitely very sturdy and very heavy. Now we'll be taking a closer look at the Hulkbuster figure when we have all the pieces ready and put together, and we'll do a review for the Hulkbuster figure on its own. Besides the Hulkbuster piece, Doctor Strange also comes with magic effects. Now these are exactly the same kind of magic effects that the Scarlet Witch figure came in the last series of Avengers Legends, only they're fluorescent green as opposed to pink, and they just clip onto the Doctor Strange's wrists just like they did with the Scarlet Witch. The figure itself, I think, comes out looking really nice. I like the sculpting detail on the head. I think the face expression for Strange, I thought they did a really good job with. He's got a kind of a thick mustache, and then he's got the hair that's slicked back with the white in the hair, so I like that. I think it's a nice update to the Toy Biz Doctor Strange figure, and I like the head sculpt on that one too. So he looks a little older on this new figure. So I don't know, maybe he's aged a little bit. But for the most part, I kind of like both head sculpts. But I like this head sculpt on this figure. So obviously this is in his more modern, like Marvel Now costume. He doesn't have the cape anymore. He's just got the basic costume with the black and red highlights, and then he's got this skirt piece that he wears, but he doesn't have like the full-on cape anymore. I don't think he's actually like the Sorcerer Supreme anymore, so he doesn't have like the Eye of Armageddon and things like that like he used to, if I remember correctly. But the skirt piece is just that kind of vinyl material. It's loose. I mean, it's a separate piece from the figure. It's not removable, but it is a separate piece. And it's got red on the inside and then black on the outside. And then it's got the little ribbon or whatever you want to call it, this belt piece that comes down, which is sculpted on there. It's not like a separate piece or anything. It's sculpted. And he's got the gold belt buckle, which is done in metallic gold paint. And paint applications are pretty solid on the figure for the most part. No blemishes, not much in the way of like washwork or anything. I mean, it's pretty basic paint applications, but it's not sloppy. I haven't seen any really sloppiness with the paint on this one, so I like that. It's a dark red for like the gloves and the belt and the stripings on his shirt, and then basically the rest of the costume is just black. And then for his head, again, he's got the black mustache and hair with the white stripings for the gray, or I should say gray stripings on the side of his head. And you know, again, I really like the head sculpt on this figure. So I think the overall sculpting of the figure is pretty good. I'm not sure, only pieces I've been able to match up with existing figures of the legs. The legs are the same that they used on the Black Bolt figure from the San Diego Comic Con exclusive last year. So I this midsection I've not been able to match up with any other figures. I'm not saying it's necessarily a new sculpt, but I haven't been able to match it up. It's not like the Bucky cap or anything like that. There's no hole on the back. The hands, again, I really haven't been able to match up. You know, they've done them with the magic conjuring poses like you typically see with Doctor Strange. So, and it's pretty much the same for both hands. And then he's got this kind of like wrinkles on the glove cuffs. So again, I've not been able to match these parts up with other figures. And the arms, I probably are reused, but I'm not 100% sure. But again, the only parts I've been able to match up for sure is that the legs are reused from the Black Bolt figure. So the figure stands at about 6 1/4 inches tall. He is taller than the old Toy Biz Doctor Strange. The articulation on this figure is pretty good. The head is on a ball hinge joint, so he can look left and right good, and he's got good up and down movement. Now, I will say the hinge on my neck joint is a little bit on the loose side, so the figure does suffer a little bit from wobbly head. Again, it's probably just with my figure, but just wanted to point that out. Standard ball hinge joints at the shoulder. He can get his arms out good, and he's got good rotation there, and you get that kind of clicky noise when you rotate his arm. He's got the bicep swivel, he's got the double hinged elbow, and then he's got the hinges on the wrist. So he's got good up and down movement with the wrist for magic conjuring poses, and he's got the swivel at the wrist. He's got the ab crunch joint, so he can look down and he can look up. He's got a rotation at the waist. And then he's got the ball joints for the leg. Now the skirt piece limits how much he can do the splits with this leg, so he can do the splits about that much. He can get the leg forward good, but again, because of the skirt piece, can't really do the legs back. He's got the bicep swivel. He's got the double jointed knee, so he's got good bending at the knee. He's got a swivel at the boot cuff, and then he's got the ankle pivot. 2 peg holes on the bottom of his feet. Okay, so that's my review. Overall, I really like this figure. I think it's actually one of the nicer figures in the wave. I like the head sculpt. I like the updated look for Doctor Strange. I like this costume for Strange, and I think the figure captures the overall look of it really good. Good articulation. Again, I like the head sculpt and pretty solid paint applications. The magic accessories, you know, they're not bad. Again, exactly the same as we got with Scarlet Witch. So if you have that figure, you know what to expect with that. So this figure, along with the rest of the figures in the Hulkbuster wave, are slated to hit US shelves by mid-August, if not a little bit sooner, but you know, target date is about mid-August. Now we'll be getting this figure again in the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive set, only it'll be done in complete translucent plastic for his astral form. So that'll be a nice addition to go along with this figure. So that's our review. We'll have a full gallery of images up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the description below for that. And as always, we ask, you know, please leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. And until next time, I'll catch you later.